Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Today we are looking at a paper from the Hugging Face trending list, published on December 14, 2025, about 3 days ago. It introduces a method called Scone that lets image generators both combine multiple subjects in one picture and correctly pick out the right subject from cluttered inputs, beating other open source models on composition and distinction benchmarks. The paper is titled Scone: Bridging Composition and Distinction in Subject-Driven Image Generation via Unified Understanding Generation Modeling. And as we will see later, the unified setup and the new evaluation benchmark make the results especially interesting for future subject-driven image tools. Also, the authors shared a full GitHub repo for Scone. You'll find the training and inference code, model implementation, and scripts for multi-stage training, plus example images and ready-made benchmarks for OmniContext and SconeEval. There are clear setup instructions, dataset preparation steps, and bash scripts to reproduce their experiments end-to-end. On Hugging Face, you will find Scone weights, built on a 7 billion parameter bagel base, plus examples for multi-subject, subject-driven text to image generation. Figure 1 highlights why distinction is hard in subject-driven image generation and what specific challenges Scone tackles. The left panel contrasts Scone with other models which often omit the target, duplicate subjects, or pick the wrong one when several candidates appear. The top right curve plots how well different internal layers semantically match the instruction, separating understanding from generation. The bottom right examples show biased understanding and misaligned generation, leading to redundant or incorrect subjects. Figure 2 shows how the model converts better understanding of the instruction into more accurate subject generation. The top row compares similarity maps from the understanding expert and the generation expert, where the understanding expert sharply focuses on the baby lion, while the generation expert spreads attention across the whole image. This similarity map is then turned into a masked version that suppresses irrelevant regions. The bottom diagram depicts the unified loop in which the understanding expert passes semantic guidance forward and receives feedback from generation. This collaboration means the generator keeps the right subject, while ignoring distracting content in complex scenes. Figure 3 explains how the model actually builds the understanding bridge between comprehension and generation. The top panel shows step 1, where the understanding expert compares early visual and text hidden states, meaning internal feature vectors, to create a semantic mask that highlights only tokens relevant to the requested subject. This mask then steers attention so irrelevant regions stay quiet. The bottom panel illustrates step 2, where the generation expert learns to match its own hidden states to the masked guidance, so the final target image keeps the right subject without extra distractions. This table makes the main gap in current benchmarks really clear. Existing tests mostly check whether a model can compose a subject into an image, but they almost never test distinction or the combination of both. The header row lists 3 skills: composition, distinction, and distinction plus composition. The body rows show that DreamBench, DreamBench++, OmniContext, and XverseBench only cover composition, while SconeEval is the only benchmark that covers all 3 skills. This table shows that Scone becomes the best performing open source system on the SconeEval benchmark, getting very close to closed source giants like GPT-4o. The header rows split scores into composition, distinction, and their combination, so we can see which models actually keep the right subject in complex scenes. The top block reports closed source models, where GPT-4o leads with an overall score just under 9. The middle block covers pure generation models, where OmniGen 2 and UniWorld v2 are strong but still trail Scone on distinction-heavy columns. The bottom block focuses on unified models and highlights that Scone improves significantly over the bagel base, and even edges out Echo 4o in overall average. Alright, the big takeaway is that Scone turns understanding into a direct guide for generation, so subject-driven image models can both place multiple subjects correctly and pick the right one from cluttered references. This matters for safer, more controllable creative tools and realistic multi-character scenes. That is it for this episode of the AI Research Roundup. I am Alex. Thanks for listening.